This is my day one of aggressively reviewing English vocabulary. If you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with learning English vocabulary and consolidating what I've learned by revisiting the material on a regular basis. But this week, I want to dedicate a lot of time to revisiting all of the English words that I've learned over the past 3 years, which is gonna be a lot, but it's okay because I've already organized them using different tools such as Anki, Quizlet, Google Keep, and my notebook. I think this challenge will refresh my memory of almost all of the words that I've learned, and of course I do revise them on a regular basis, but sometimes there can be certain expressions that don't get as much attention as other expressions, and that's why we'll see. And today I'm gonna be reviewing the expressions that I've stored on Anki. I've stored 1,122 words on Anki, but I don't really think I'll be able to get through all of them today because it's already 3 p.m. in the afternoon and I have only about 7 to 9 hours left because I also have to practice my speaking skills. So I'm gonna say 600, okay? And I'm gonna see if I'll be able to get through 600 words on Anki, and let's get started. Do you know what's the most important thing you need to take into consideration when studying? It is coziness. You really need to be cozy and at ease to be able to study effectively. If you're not cozy, if you're very tense, I don't really think you'll be able to digest or absorb any information very well. So it's really important to be cozy. And the way I study vocabulary, it's very simple. Now I've got a few expressions. I can show you what they are. Wait. Let's see, this is an expression which is get something out of your mind. So I'm gonna put it into an English sentence. I'm gonna construct a sentence using this expression. I keep a diary to get everything out of my mind because, or some people may also open up to their friends, or like they may have open conversations with their families to get things out of their mind. And yeah, so that's how I review vocabulary, just by making sure that I construct a sentence using this very expression that I'm trying to remember. Okay, and if I don't remember it, I'm just going to look it up in a dictionary to refresh my memory. I usually put together the expressions that have a similar meaning, and I consider all of them as one single expression. So it's going to be a lot, For example, when it comes to talking about things not working as expected, we have a few expressions like fall through, fall to pieces, fall to nothing, or come to nothing, or come crashing down, or miss the mark. So today it's going to be a lot. So I can say that, usually we are petrified by, most of the people, including me, are petrified by the idea of our plans coming to nothing, or our plans falling through and missing the mark. So we never execute the plans that we have in mind. And it's also kind of similar to us rejecting ourselves before anybody can reject us, because these plans never get to be translated into action, as we just reject them and dismiss them, as we know, we just disregard them because we're like, oh, it's not gonna take off, like, it'll just fall through, it'll just come to nothing, or something like this. I'm gonna see you guys again when I finish reviewing 100 words, and I'm also gonna be highlighting a few expressions that I want to share with you guys from these 100 words. Okay, so currently it's 5:47 p.m. and I just finished 100 words, so I'm here to check in with you guys. And it took me, I think, about 2 hours to be able to get through 100 words. And it's actually way more than 100 words, probably 150 or 60 words, because as I as I told you guys, I always put together words that have a similar meaning. So, but anyways, now I'm gonna share a few expressions with you guys. So the first one is fix on somebody or something. It is to choose. Instead of choose, you can use fix on when you choose something that is suitable for a situation. And so you can say fix on somebody or something. And another one is wander off the subject. So there are a lot of synonyms of wander off the subject that I can think of, such as digress, divert your attention from something. Wander off the subject can also be used when you're not able to stay focused on a topic, so you can wander off the subject. The next one is inflate the significance of something. I already know the word inflate, but another synonym of inflate the significance of something is overplay. So the example that I came up with when I was reviewing this expression is the significance of university education is usually inflated or overplayed. Just an example, don't be triggered. I'm gonna go on to highlight two more expressions. So it is vie with somebody for something. So vie, it just means compete. For example, in this day and age, there are a lot of social media platforms, or there are a lot of video creators vying with each other for our attention. Or I can also say there's a lot of video content every day. There is a lot of video content that is put out every day vying for our attention, something like this. And another one is fuss over somebody. So if you fuss over somebody, it means that you give a person, or it can also be an animal, too much attention because you want to show that you like him or her or it. So it's like fussing over somebody. Maybe it's not uncommon for parents to fuss over the youngest child while the older siblings or the older children feel ignored or unimportant. I'm gonna go back to reviewing 100 more words, and after that I'm gonna check in with you guys again. Now it's 6:49 p.m. and I've already reviewed 200 words, so I've got 400 more words to go. And here are some expressions that I want to highlight. And it's gonna be a little dark over here because the lights just went out and I've got a power outage. And actually I've got a lamp, but I think it is charged in my mother's room, and I just can't be bothered to go get it, so we're just gonna make do with the light that I have, which is my phone. So the first one is called dote on or upon somebody. If you dote on somebody, it means that you love somebody so much and you believe that they're perfect, so you are basically ignoring all of their faults and shortcomings whatsoever. And I've been actually looking for this word. I was like, oh, I know this word because this is kind of similar to like worship, like you worship somebody, but I couldn't really think of it. And today I found it. And the next one is have a flair for somebody. So flair is another way to say aptitude or gift or talent, like your natural ability to do something. And so some people may have a flair for learning languages. Some people may have a flair for science or math, So this is called having a flair. And the next one is called see through. And I know other meanings of see-through as well, but this is one of the meanings that I basically forgot, like literally forgot. So if you see a task or a responsibility through, it means that you do it until it reaches its completion, like, without quitting, I would say. So it's also similar to following through on your commitments or on everything like you do is called seeing it through. And the next one is place a premium on. So if you place a premium on something, it means that you place a great amount of importance on something. So instead of place a great amount of importance on, you can say place a premium on. So a premium, I think pronunciation is, you place a premium on something. So I personally, as an English teacher, place a premium on expanding vocabulary or having an expansive vocabulary because it's I don't know, it helps me express myself better. I decided to go get my lamp because it's getting darker and darker. We're halfway through it. I've already finished reviewing 300 words and it's 7:53. Currently, 7:53 p.m. I'm so hungry. I want to eat something, but I'm like, oh no. Once I start doing something, I really want to see it through before I do anything else, before I take a break from it. So a few expressions that I want to highlight. The first one is a sucker for something. Actually, I've been reviewing this expression, I don't know, a million times, but I think I've never actually used it, so I just decided to write it down. If you're a sucker for something, you like someone or somebody very much, like you can't really resist them, you know, so I can say I'm a sucker for... I'm not really a sucker for anything, actually. Maybe I'm a sucker for TikTok because I like TikTok. And I have another one which is in mint condition. So it means that something is like almost perfect. So a house can be in mint condition, a car can be in mint condition. When we thrift clothes or accessories, they can also be in mint condition, so they're nearly perfect. And then the next one is make a dent in something. Make a dent in something is to reduce an amount of something, especially money or work. So make a dent in your savings. I bought this camera and it made a dent in my savings. And then we have in a shambles. So if a house is in a shambles, it means that it's like very untidy and messy, disorganized. When my room is in a shambles, it means that I'm not feeling well, I'm not really feeling well. I'm not at my best self, and that's why my room is in a shambles. And the next one is reach the top of the tree. So the top of the tree is like the highest rank or position in a career or a profession. So these days we're all busy trying to reach the top of the tree in our respective fields that our self-care might be pushed into the background, like self-care activities or our families are usually pushed into the background because we're like so busy trying to reach the top of the tree. And so these are 5 more expressions that I want to highlight, and I'm gonna continue studying 300 more words. It is 8:56 p.m. If you can see, yeah, so it's 8:57 now. Anyways, so I've got 200 more words to go, and honestly, I think I'm doing really, really great. I think I'll be able to finish this revision by maybe 11 at the latest, hopefully, because I'm really hungry. So let's take a look at a few expressions that I want to highlight this time. The first one is retract your words. So if you retract your words, it means that you say that, something you have said earlier, it's incorrect. Something you have said earlier is incorrect or not true, or that you didn't mean it. So you retract your words. And the next one is make the best of your circumstances. This is a good one because I think we all, even if things don't go our way all the time, we make sure to make the best of our circumstances so that we don't become so, unhappy or despondent when things are not going our way. And the next one is, actually, I just want to make sure that I remember it because I keep forgetting this word, which is malign somebody. It's similar to slandering somebody. So when you say bad things about somebody, you can say you malign them. So maybe on social media, we can see that celebrities are maligned on a daily basis because they're celebrities, they're public figures, and people malign them sometimes for no reason. And the next one is wrap someone around your little finger. So if you wrap someone around your little finger, it means that you have full control over them and you can make them do whatever you want them to do. and so you wrap them around your little finger, you know. And how many of them? The last one is called pull back. So if you pull back, you decide not to do something that you were intending to do. And so you can pull back at the last minute, you can pull back from a commitment. You know, that's how we use pull back. I'm actually thinking about checking in with you guys after I finish reviewing all of them, like, because I'll have to revisit them no matter what. And I think I'd better revise all of them. And then I'm gonna share some highlighted expressions with you. It's currently 10:12 p.m. and finally I finished reviewing 600 words today. Oh my gosh. I think it took me around 6.5 hours to be able to review all of them. And I mean, I can't complain. Did I enjoy it? Not fully, but I'm really glad that I was able to revisit a few expressions that I couldn't really recall by myself. And here are a few expressions that I'm going to highlight. The first one is a walk in the park. So if something is a walk in the park, it means that it's a piece of cake, you know. For example, I can say that reviewing English vocabulary is a walk in the park, but it's sometimes a little tedious. And the next one is fall at the first hurdle. So if you fall at the first hurdle, it means that, you know, you're going to fail at the beginning of what you're trying to do. Like, for example, you want to work in a country where English is primarily spoken, but you don't know how to speak in English. And then you may fall at the first hurdle because you may not even be able to nail an interview, you know? And the next one is transitory. I know this word, but I always forget this word. I remember other words that are similar to it, like fleeting or ephemeral, but transitory, it's also a good one. Like, our feelings are transitory, or the transitory nature of something, like this. And then dissipate, again, this is a word that I can't really recall easily. So if you dissipate your time or money, you waste your time or money by not making the best use of them, you know. Instead of dissipating my time scrolling social media today, I made good use of it by studying and reviewing vocabulary. And then gather your wits. So that's a good one. Like, your wits means your ability to think clearly. It's like to regain your focus or mental clarity, so to gather your wits. Before delivering a presentation or before you give a speech in public, you're going to be so uptight and nervous, and then you need to put your mind at ease, gather your wits, and try to tackle the presentation or the speech effectively, like this. So this is it for today, and we'll see you tomorrow again. Bye.